Here's a quote by T.E. Lawrence. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their minds wake up in the day to find it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act on their dreams with eyes open to make it possible. I spent most of my life sitting in delusion, really thinking that what I have going on in my mind was an actual reality, and wondering why people wouldn't understand when I would tell them what I was going to do, how important I was, why my thoughts were so grand, and why my future was so bright. I always thought that it was what I did and what I said that really made me who I was. I didn't realize that it was the follow through. I didn't realize that it was doing the things that people won't do. I didn't realize that it was doing things like getting up early, going to sleep on time, or going to sleep late, whatever is required of the situation. I didn't realize that the more I sat and thought about what I wanted to do, the less I would be happy and fulfilled. And I think too many of us get caught up in thinking about what we want to do rather than just doing it, because it's easier to sit in the safety of our minds and come up with every possibility about why something may or may not work, and come up with 3 to 5 to 10 different plans, and really get to study everything and understand what the intricacies are and what the complications are. But the problem is, when we're doing that, nobody's actually doing the work. And the thing that we think about getting done, the thing that we tell everybody we're about to get done, just sits by and never actually gets done. And what begins to happen is we start to actually separate from reality, because you see, our mind doesn't know the difference between fact or fiction. The human brain doesn't know the difference between true or false. So we can sit and think and picture ourselves playing basketball all day, and our mind and our body will think that we were playing basketball all day. And there's ways that you can visualize yourself doing something and actually get the muscle memory and the technique to do it and get better. But there's a dark side to this. The dark side of this is, if you spend all your time doing this, you're going to trick yourself and trap yourself into thinking that you've been being productive, you've been doing stuff, when really you've just been sitting and daydreaming. And for me, I used to have a job, so I spent most of my time sitting and daydreaming, wondering what I'd be doing when I wasn't, on work, what I'd be eating for dinner, what I'd be doing this weekend, what I'd be doing if I was more successful, if I didn't have to sit here in this job. And I didn't end up doing any of it. I had all these big grand dreams and plans, and nothing came to fruition. And I kept blaming everybody. I kept telling it was all these different reasons, they couldn't see my genius. And, it's the paperwork, man. Who's going to take time to do paperwork, right? Homework and all this stuff. And really, it's just excuses. And the biggest thing that we can do, one of the hardest things that we can do, is admit to ourselves that we've been making excuses to ourselves. Because we want people to have this vision of us. And as long as people have this vision of us, then hell, we might be able to fool ourselves and have our own vision of us. But deep down, we know, we either are or we're not doing the things that are going to move us closer. And those little thoughts haunt you. They haunt you because they're not verbal. They're not verbal thoughts when it's like, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. It's not like that thing that taunts you in your mind. It's a sinking feeling whenever you think about the thing that you didn't do, or the thing that you know you're supposed to do, and you just feel lower every time because you haven't gotten it done, because you keep procrastinating. And instead, what you do is you think of, well, how would it feel if I actually did it? How would it feel if I actually had those results? And then you get caught up in the feeling of having those results. And the hard work of getting the results seems to not get done. Why do you need to do the work? You already feel like you got the results. Man, if I had a dime for every time I had that feeling, I'd have more money than I do right now. Because it's that feeling that lulls us into complacency. It's that feeling that makes us feel like we already accomplished something. It's the same thing as going out and telling other people your goals. You tell other people your goals, yeah, they might hold you accountable, but they also might congratulate you. They might tell you good job. They might say, hey, you got that, man. You're already there. Why do you need to work so hard? It's that question, it's that behavior that keeps us trapped, because we would like to think that we're there already. And we want people to look at us like we're there already. But the thing is, we know we're not. And it's that chasm, it's that dichotomy, it's that balance that we need to find, because first of all, nobody really cares if we are or we're not there. They just want us to do what we say we're going to do, right? They want us to hold ourselves accountable and to commit to our word. And I think it's these basic things that we've forgotten. I know as men, right? A lot of us men haven't had this taught to us because our fathers failed us, right? And our fathers didn't necessarily teach us the value of being a man. So we need to learn it the hard way. And the hard way takes years. It takes pain, takes effort, takes struggle. But there's real honor there. There's real grace there, right? There's real value there. So I would like to encourage you to stop fucking making excuses and do your goddamn work. I love you. God bless. Peace.